Good morning. I am Professor Uday Gadkari, one of the members of the Board of Governors, Board of Directors of this institution, I.D.E.A.S. I.D.E.A.S today is almost 13-year young baby. And in these 13 years, a team of teachers, experienced teachers, highly experienced teachers, and highly qualified teachers have started this particular venture. And today we are stepping into a teenage. How to have our institution was always a dream. We have been teachers for long standing, for the last more than 20, 25 years, 30 years. I am a 40-year experienced teacher now. And whatever we learned as a student of architecture, we are trying to put that into practice and shape up our students to be ready with the challenges of the profession. Architecture design and architecture profession is a very peculiar project, is a very peculiar discipline, unlike many other disciplines. This is a discipline which has the theory and the practice which go hand in hand. And within the four walls of the classroom and in the institution, when we teach architecture, it could be the theory, it could be the workshop practices, it could be the site practices. However, more important is that the students have to be exposed to the various situations of the practical field. And so to say that we have to make them practice a profession ready. The profession ready is a term which otherwise is a very ideal term, utopian term. However, the fact remains that there are certain professions which have to have professional practice or practical exposure as an inseparable component of education, like medicine. Students cannot be only taught the theories, they have to practice in the operation theatres or the wards, judging the patients, assessing the patients, treating them, and so on and so forth. So is the case with law. So is with our chartered accountancy. Architecture is also one of them, where the practical orientation and practical knowledge is equally important than what we learn as the theories or principles of architecture in our curriculum. Design is one such subject which is the prime subject of our field, of this 5-year education, and in which the student learns as to how to design the buildings of various types. There are residential buildings, commercial buildings, industrial buildings, institutional buildings, and so on and so forth. There could be umpteen number of design typologies, but how to design them is a skill, art and science which has been taught in architecture. Now, if the same science and art is been taught by the people who themselves are practitioners, who themselves are professionals, then it is all the more better. Understanding this particular thing, we have a set of teachers, a large set of teachers who are practicing architects today. Though they are teachers here, but we very liberally allow them to practice the profession of architecture outside the college. And this has its impact and influence on the teaching also. The students not only learn the postulates and theorems, but they also learn the intricacies and complexities of the professional practice. And that is what we term as the profession ready students. As I told you, design is a field into which it is not only their building design or building plan they do, but they try to find out as to how the utilitarian building can be designed. A building which is very functional, a building which is very good to look at, aesthetics, a building which is structurally stable, the engineering, the building which performs as per the rules of the science or scientific understandings. And in addition to that, there are management subjects like site management, project management, labor management, human resource management, financial management, and so on and so forth. They also have to learn many other allied subjects. For example, we have interior design, we have landscape architecture, valuation, retrofitting, then signages and graphics. These are the various subjects which go as an assimilation of understanding into the field of design. There are many other subjects such as economics, sociology, psychology, philosophy, geography, geology. They all come under the humanities subject. So it is an amalgamation of so many subjects and its understanding. That is why it is a very unique subject, I always say. In medicine, I don't want to criticize, but then in medicine, engineering, dental, pharmacy, accountancy, in which the other fields of discipline may not come into picture as far as the understanding of that subject is. A human anatomy, its elements and treatments, the researches into this particular field, if known to a doctor, he may not know the economics or he may not know the civil engineering field, but an architect got to know civil engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, electronics engineering, computer engineering. He has to have the knowledge, because installing all the mechanical devices such as walkolators, escalators, elevators, he got to understand what is what. HVAC, heat, ventilation and air conditioning, cooling, heating, and natural processes of heating, cooling, ventilation. Like the nature itself is a great guru. We have to learn from it also and try to control or regulate the built environment or ambience within the building by regulating these features. So it is a very vast course, and we are here to train our students so as to expose them to these various intricacies. Ultimately, this leads to real estate. And real estate, as you know, is one of the prime motivators of the economy of any country. So we are ultimately contributing into the economy of the nation. So that is why it is a very challenging field. It is a very complex field. At the same time, it is very interesting because we learn so many skills out of our own regular curriculum. For example, a student got to speak, he got to be good at communication. Now, communications could be not only verbal communication or speaking, but it could be even written communication, graphical communication, because we learn a new language of graphics. The language of architecture is universal. In England, America, Russia, France, Germany, wherever you go, the drawing is read in the same fashion. So we learn a new language and more than that, we learn the language of aesthetics, that is making everything beautiful. So this is a course which is a varied, complex, interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary, as well as always keeping you in the field of creativity, which makes you always enjoy the life not by yourself, but even making the life enjoyable to others or those who occupy these buildings. So this is such a course, and our attempt is to see that the students are given the most of the exposure so that when they step into the profession after graduation, they are almost ready to take up the challenges of the profession. And this is what is our motto. Thank you.